have here. I've got some good news for you. If you are watching this live stream, or if you will be watching it at some point in the future, then you are alive. You made it. You made it to today in one piece. You're alive. You have the possibility of continuing to live for who knows how long from now. The point is, unlike a lot of people, you're alive. And so am I.
And so am I.
So is my beautiful, alive wife, Rachel.
Hi.
So, sometimes when you are having just whatever kind of day, good, bad, something in between, it's important to remember, hey, you know what I am? Alive. That's pretty good. Almost everybody in all of human history cannot make that claim. Why, if it isn't Reuben R., what a delight. Seeing you here is like seeing sunshine poke out from behind the clouds. And I'm glad to know, because I was worried a little bit, that you are alive. And you're also, not only are you alive, but you're not in a vegetative state. So, it's a double win. Please insert coin. Uh, I'm not sure what slot you want me to put it into, Ruben, but I think I'm going to leave that between you and your priest. Anywho, I've got some thoughts of a couple things that I might do today. One of them involves doing a little bit of digging out back and a little bit of soil conditioning. One of them involves dealing with some persistent, stubborn waspatoria.
Oh, really?
It's not really the waspatoria that are stubborn as much as it is the wasps. Because they keep trying to build waspatoria, or I don't want them to. Despite my clear indication to them that that's not okay. Well, Rachel, I've got some bad news. Everybody else also has some bad news.
What's that?
We're already down 4-0.
Wow. What inning?
It's only the second inning, so there's
Jeez.
plenty of time to come back. I mean, I'm not.
There is time to come back, and that we've seen that they're a team that can.
I'm not caught up to real time right now, obviously. So we may have a couple of outside activities today. I am pleased to have put 2-bit version of God to bed.
It's good.
Yep. Made a video, uploaded it, I'm done. That has been a real bucking bronco to try to tame. But I'm pleased with the final result. I think it sounds quite well produced for me. Maybe not for people who are really good at that stuff, but for me. Turbo, would you just leave me alone, please? Oh, wait. Is that gone? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. Who was that?
4-1. Hernandez. Or as I like to call him, the sauce. Because, there's this kind of sauce called Bernaise sauce. And his name's Hernandez. That's where that nickname came from. Joe was being quite demanding.
Is he?
Well, yeah. He's bugging me to go watch him eat back already. What's the name? All right, so 4-1. We're on the comeback trail. Meanwhile, Denzel Clark takes the ball. It's kind of nice we can get a home run from your 8th slot hitter. Don't worry, I know. We've got a couple of tasks to do, but we'll get to them. Meantime, hi W8455. Yeah, you are. You're alive. So am I. I was pleased to discover that this morning when I woke up. Rachel is alive. Both the cats are alive. What more could you want from a day than being alive? I don't know who you are, W8455. What did your name used to be? Oh, hi, Sky Gear. Yeah, I try to prevent, I guess, well, I don't know what happened, imposter. I but actually, I think I do remember what happened. I think you said something. Maybe that wasn't you. I don't know. I think maybe you said something about INFJs and Rachel timed you up.
No, I don't know. Renaud?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
if I did tell me I was on accident.
well, yeah. If that's what happened, then you got timed up by accident. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But you're obviously not timed out anymore. The Pope. I doubt it would be in response to a Pope joke. It's quite possible you got accidentally timed out. I don't see you as somebody who says time outable things really, so probably it was an accident. There. Now we won't get that glare. Now we will not get that glare. Poverty. You're a very professional troll. I'm glad to hear it. You adhere to the standards of troll ethics. Kentucky Derby's coming up May 2nd. That's so soon. We'll get to see that one guy who always broadcasts on the Triple Crown races, who rolls up his sleeve and does a bunch of stuff on a whiteboard. Seems very much like an ENTP to me. Whenever I occasionally enter the stream, I feel as if some mental illness that I don't actually have takes over me. I see. Well, maybe you do actually have it, but it's just nobody knows about it yet. It hasn't been discovered by psychology. That seems plausible. even likely. Some people say mental illness is caused by crazy music. Let's find out. Derangement, excessive derangement. You need more words in it than just derangement syndrome. Don't trust that guy. He does not have a PhD in anything, I don't think. I have a PhD in piano. That's for sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. See? Told you I had a PhD in piano. I got a PhD in the piano. I'm a doctor of love. I got a real big place with a bird inside. PhD in piano. That's why I can play this piano song. And though you've never heard it before, I bet if you try, you can sing along. Dr. Piano, they call me Doctor of Love. Dr. Piano descended from heaven above. You never knew what it was like to encounter piano of the sort that I might play while I'm live streaming on any given day. Thank you. Why haven't you made a career yet out of being a genuine human chat GPT? Well, because, people consume what they want to consume. Whatever value I might think that what I'm doing has doesn't matter, because I don't get to decide whether people want to consume what I'm making. People do. People not named Eric. Well, some of them are named Eric, but they're not me. Everybody love a techno party. Everybody want to go. Everybody love a techno party. They don't want to stay home. Everybody love a techno party. That include you and me. Everybody want a techno party. So let's go have one and see. It's a techno party. Everybody want to have a techno party. Everybody want to have a techno party. Come over to my house. Everybody want to have a techno party. Everybody thinks it's house. Everybody wanna have a techno party. Everybody want to go. Everybody want to go a techno party. And so yo, let's go. Let's put on techno music and let's have a techno party tonight. Everybody wanna have a techno party. Everybody love a techno party. Everybody wanna go to the techno party tonight. Everybody love a techno party. Everybody wanna go to the techno party. All right. You get the drugs, I'll get the car. We're going to a rave, it's not too far. It's gonna have techno music blasting at the bar and everywhere else. Yeah, we're gonna go to a techno party. We're gonna have a techno party. Everybody wanna go to techno party tonight. All right. Now we're there, let's take all the drugs, get on the dance floor, give us some hugs. We're gonna dance till the morning light, might get a little dehydrated tonight, but that's okay. It's a techno party, everybody gonna get down. There's a big speaker blasting the room, everybody spinning around. All right, let's go. That was pretty good. That was not too bad. It satisfies the clanker generative itch without having any clankers around. I see. Clankers, huh? I don't even know what clankers are. Ah, you're just Sky Gear. You're finally yourself again. Thank God. I'm so happy for you. For a moment there, you're wondering if you really were alive. Well, we got some good news. Clanker is a slur for AI. Hey, no hate speech around here, Sky Gear. I saw a good video today about AI, actually. It's only like less than 5 minutes long, but it's basically explaining how whatever your, but see, this was specifically about, I guess, AI that answers questions like chat stuff. It was pointing out that because AI is trained on the totality of human produce, whatever it's going to give you as an answer is going to be representative of some average. So, in other words, it's not possible for it to be like more correct than actual experts on the subject because it's factoring in not only those actual experts but people who are wrong about it as well. It was kind of my point the other night or last night maybe when I was talking about AI music generators and whether or not they will ever be able to make good music, because my point in part was that they're learning about how to make music by referencing music that people have made, you know? And so it's kind of, I don't think AI could figure out what it is that makes a song fantastic, even if it was to somehow be able to access just fantastic music. But it seems like it would have no chance of figuring it out if it's accessing mostly bad music. It Okay, so Ruben says that's not necessarily true. I guess you're talking about stock LLMs. Um, but people are using them way beyond that. That's the consumer grade use of AI. But the thing is, it's a lot easier to constrain an AI's what an AI trains upon when it comes to information than it is when it comes to music, because whoever's giving the instructions to the AI is almost certainly not going to have very good taste in music.
Do you have any lighters?
Yeah, I have one right here.
Thank you.
Sure. Regardless, we'll see what happens. That's the thing about music. The, the 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 video I saw was interesting, and I would still say that um, I still don't quite see a world in which AI is going to produce answers that are better than the single best human resource on the thing, right? Like, because in if it just trains on that single best human resource, the best it could be would be equal to it. And Sky Garrett mentioned that it's recently come up, AI has recently produced a somewhat novel mathematical advance. Yeah, it's going to be humans leveraging AI. You know, like I was saying last night, I have very unclear thoughts and feelings about AI music generating stuff. Obviously, I don't care about image generating because I don't make images myself. Um, it's obviously a bit of a reconciliation that has to be accomplished when it comes to the stark reality of things, where it's like, all right, AI made this song that's mixed and mastered very well in 15 seconds. And when I'm mixing and mastering, I'm having to spend countless hours trying to get it right. I mean, it takes forever. Now, insofar as AI cannot um, make good music itself, which seems to be the question, you know. You see humans using AI tools to realize their vision in a way they couldn't before. Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody will customize one to do this at some point, but it's like, it would be great if you had some AI, like, essentially extension that ran alongside your audio production app and that you could task with doing certain kinds of things, you know. I feel like some things become innately tarnished whenever AI enters the picture in a significant way. Well, presumably, Skygear, it, if it if that weren't the case, then you wouldn't notice it, right? So, like, if it did successfully fool you, you'd not know that you'd been fooled. Well, I mean, the weird thing is, Skygear, is that the way, like, say, image generation works is absolutely nothing like how humans generate image. The way that LLMs work is nothing to do with the way humans generate language or communication. Geralt says, when I'm making music, I get random flashes of memories from childhood that I would never recall by just jumping from thought to thought. It's always a memory from when I lived in Benicia. um, so from what I understand is that it AI needs a ongoing supply of actually human generated stuff to be successful. That if you feed AI back into AI, it gets progressively more terrible. IDK, are humans Markov chains? What are Markov chains? I'd have to look that up. I've heard the term before, but I don't know what it means. I may have known at one point, but I don't now. So, as I mentioned, a couple of things I'd like to get done here. I may try baking another loaf of bread some point today as well.
Mm.
AI and AI does not necessarily get more terrible. It depends on the application. I do it all day, and it definitely is not making the outputs more terrible, much improved. Huh. Markov chain is a model of states where each node represents a state and each frame jumps to another connected node based on a given probability. My point is that AI is essentially a class of stochastic processes that have some sort of Markov property, as much as I understand it. Well, Ruben, I mean, the thing is, my core message is I don't know what to think. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. You obviously seem to be much more surfing the curve of this than I am. Uh, yeah, right. I need to actually get my hands dirty using it. But I'm not even sure what I'd want it to do. Like, I guess to some extent I'm married to my processes. It's a system of nodes and edges where nodes represent the states and the directed edges represent the probability they'll jump to the given state they are pointed at, which just means that future information depends only on a small number of past events. I don't know how to explain it too well without writing out some formulas. So what you're saying is that like causal linkage doesn't persist across very many steps. Imagine not just an image generator for an entire image, but instead, gotcha, interesting. So it's kind of like, you know, it has some equivalency to like a negative feedback, such that it never, it can only expand out too far its influence before it collapses back to zero. Nick Kurtz at the plate, opening the fourth inning. It's not AIs driving AIs mindlessly. Okay. All right. Gotcha. You know what I say about probabilities? Probabilities, schmrobabilities. Everything is either 100% or 0%. That's it. There are no probabilities, okay? That's just your imagination. You use AI to prompt AI to generate AI slop prompts for other AI to train on. Okay. But generative tools for each paintbrush, eraser, compressor, EQ, etc., that give you greater control. It's the human behind it. Um, yeah, there are certainly things I'd like to be able to delegate to an AI, such as uh, go along this bass track and move each of the bass notes so that it's exactly in line with the drum beat, and then mute out all the space in between the notes so that there's no noise there. And also make all of the bass notes this length here instead of whatever. No, no, no. That would be great. Oh, everything is 50%. So what you're saying is everything is 0%, 50%, and 100% at the same time? I understand now. I see. So you'd have to somehow teach AI that skill and then you could have it do it again later. Kind of like a macro that you don't have to actually do all the individual steps for. It's my favorite thing that AI does currently, defining processes super clearly and creating great conditional logic process to follow. Hmm. But I would imagine that to use an AI to do the thing I was talking about, someone would have to create an AI that's specifically designed to interface with your audio app, right? I see. You're macroing your processes. Like, yeah, maybe it is already being done. Because that is time consuming and a pain in the ass. And like, in this track I just put up today, working on it for a very long time, and one of the challenges I kept having was when I recorded it, the bass for the middle part it was a different bass than the bass for the main part, and I could not. I didn't like the tone of that second bass, and I couldn't get it. I was having a hell of a hard time EQing out the peaks of it and stuff. It's like, can you fix this bass to make it sound more like the other bass tonally? and to get rid of these like big resonance points. That would be great if it could do that. Because sometimes that stuff is so hard to figure out. Like I, it was one of those things I was trying to EQ. I could not, for the life of me, figure out why it was sounding like it was. It was clearly like ringing at the bottom end somewhere, like, I don't know, no higher than 800 or something. But the peaks were all up here for some reason. Turning those peaks down obviously didn't fix the problem because it was obviously not up there. I could not figure out what to do with that shit. It when I used the analyze plot spectrum tool, I was like, what? I totally expected it to look totally different than that. And I never did figure out exactly what was going on. Super intelligent AI and world government is coming. I mean, what does super intelligent AI mean, though? AI is not correctly called artificial intelligence, right? It's it's something else entirely. It's like, you know, nodes that are isolated to do equivalencies to generative processes that that a human being can do. Like a human being can draw a picture and chat and make music um, as part of intelligence, but AI is not that at all. It's a it's something else. Best understood as a tool for people to use to do things, but just like convincingly convincingly looking like something other than what it is. Well, okay, but see, there you have it, Rain. AI in so AI is not that kind of agent. It may have some agency, right? Like you can task it to do things and it can do them. But the kind of agent that can have its intelligence possibly defined as ability to model its environment um, has to have interests. And so uh, when I'm saying intelligence, I mean sentient, self-aware intelligence, and or being an entity. To the extent that you want to link intelligence to its status as an agent, well then you're gonna be playing fast and loose with the meaning of agent there because like volcanoes are agents, but they have no capacity to uh, model their environment. People are agents; they have a capacity to model their environment, but that doesn't mean that modeling one's environment is sufficient to qualify as a sentient agent or meaningfully an agent with interests. This pack of matches is empty. This one has a couple matches left in it. There's no experiment that can determine sentience, so that definition isn't operational. Um, well, sure there is if you include some biological component in the definition. And significantly, you might say, well, then you're just begging the question, Eric. Just define it as biological is not making a meaningful distinction, because we need to define this term independent of something that's uniquely human, or else we're not actually doing any test on the thing that we're thinking about. Yeah, okay. You make a good point. I mean, I would say there certainly have to be some kind of operational definitions that you can check to see if something's pursuing actual interests or not, you know? I can't think of what it is at the moment, but I tend to think of intelligence as, you know, you're fully entangled with paying attention. And that's not really what AI does. It doesn't really pay attention to anything. But that's why I keep coming back to the same position, which is I don't know what to think about the whole thing. It's a categorical shift of reality that is not equivalent to any other kind of technological advance before. More significant even than like the internet. It's so it's so different and such a paradigm shift that I just don't know what to think about it. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what it means, what impacts it will have. I just don't know. I have an offer for an MSO in AI starting September because I want to go into AI safety. Well, a very specific subfield that my advisors have taken. I'm doing my master's. I'm working as a mathematician, currently trying to get into complex geometry. Oh, you graduated, Rain. Congratulations. Now you have a degree that proves that you are smart. Prior to getting your degree, the question was in dispute, but not anymore. Now everybody agrees that you are smart. And you're not just smart about some dumb psychology stuff. You're smart about smart person stuff, math. So congratulations. You win an award. It's called a degree in math. But be honest, can you actually do long division by hand? Or do you just kind of gloss over that, bust out your calculator, just cheating in the back? That's cool. It looks really fun right now, TBH. Essentially, I'll have to get some results of evidence of certain special metric on meow, 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 manifolds via twistors, but I barely know any of the objects involved at this stage. I feel good because I was interested in it back in 2019, so I'm a unique snowflake, not a type lord. Cool. I'm one of those cheap, mass-produced imitation Chinese snowflakes. They're all the same. They're flooding the market with cheap imitation snowflakes to destroy America. You know how they are. They love destroying America. Low-key hate statistics only did the year one mandatory module. Well, I got some statistics for you. 99% of statistics are 100% bullshit. How you like that? Hmm? There's a 100% chance that I don't give a fuck about your math degree, all right? Mr. Know-It-All. No, I'm just jealous. I wish I had a math degree. Too bad math's too hard for me. Get out of here, little bug. Let's check on the baseball game, and then maybe we'll come back outside and we will do a little bit of a task. It's a complex mathematics called squirting down the waspatoria. You guys wouldn't understand. This is advanced stuff I'm doing. First, I used calculus to calculate the arc of the water that will squirt. Fair enough, Ray. Fair enough. How'd you like analysis, Skygear? I loved it. Oh my gosh. I was analyzing this and analyzing that. It was wonderful. That's what Skygear says. 7-1. Come the fuck on, athletics. Seriously. What is going on here? 7-1.
I know.
Get out of here with your 6-run deficit. This is not cool. Well, hi, piano drawings. How are you doing? Are you drawing pianos right now? Yes, I do. I do. He was the Finnish folk singer. Am I correct? Did I get 1 point for correctness?
How did you know that?
Because piano drawings has come here before and advocated in favor of this fellow.
Oh.
Had me listen to him. He's like an old-timey guy. You know what I like to do when I'm in the grocery store? I like to add topological and analytical structure to our grocery list. Functional analysis was so good. It was like, but what is addition actually? Let's analyze it. Addition, it looks like a little T, but the line is right in the middle. And it makes you put the things together. But were two things become one thing? That's my analysis of addition. Maybe you should learn general relativity as a side project in Skygear. Do you believe in God? Yeah, I self-identify as a Christian. You know what, you guys? Let me tell you something fascinating. You know one thought experiment? The thought experiment that Einstein used to initially come up with relativity? He envisioned a spaceship moving through space that had a photon clock, which is just a clock that measures time by bouncing a photon back and forth between two reflective surfaces. It doesn't exist in the real world, it's just for a thought experiment, right? And he imagined that spaceship moving through space. And what he realized was that if it's moving this way, then the distance the photon travels is actually a little bit longer the faster it goes. But that from within the spaceship, it would seem to not be changing time at all. And that was then he imagined a second spaceship outside observing this and noted that the passage of time would be different for both those spaceships because um, while in the first spaceship, the photon would not seem to be traveling, taking longer time to bounce between the plates. From the outside observer's perspective, it would. So, um, that's how he came up with it. Isn't that cool? What a clever guy he was. AI is like we hiked a mountain and littered on the hike up. We reached the top, made a snowball, and rolled it down. Now it's gaining size and momentum, picking up all the litter and the empirical and using it for momentum. Well, as Ruben was indicating, ultimately, how successful AI is at doing whatever it is tasked with doing is going to be dependent on how good the the wielder of AI is at optimizing its parameters. So it is the case that if AI is just, having a large troll net and just gathering in all the examples that exist of Mia and then kind of averaging out to mediocrity, well, then that's exactly what it's going to be. But it's also the case that you can imagine it working like we were talking about earlier, where I would like for there to be an AI that sits alongside, or runs alongside my audio app that I use, Audacity, and to which I could tell the AI things like, go along this bass track and move each of the bass notes so that it's exactly lined up with the drums. And then for the ones that are longer than Mia, uh, cut it to this length so that they're all the same size. And for ones that are shorter than Mia, I'll deal with them later. Or even I could tell it like, because generally it's kind of an iffy idea to try to stretch out things that are too short, but it works fine to shorten things that are too long. So if AI were to be able to successfully do that, essentially uh, write macros for you and execute those macros, well, then that would be a powerful tool that I would like to use. Whereas if instead AI music is just it's AI making the song, not you, well, that's that's of no interest to me at all. So the thing is, it's hard to say what's going to happen with AI. What do I think of Nikola Tesla? I think he was one of the two great geniuses of the modern time, Einstein and Tesla. Speaking of macros, yes, we are speaking of macros, by which I mean, of course, macadamia nuts. There's never not more math you don't know. You can implement Conway's Game of Life in Photoshop with a three-step macro. Well, why would I want to implement that? Nick Kurtz at the plate, one on, one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. If we're going to make a comeback, we're going to need to get a couple runs in this inning. String theory is a theoretical framework in physics that models subatomic particles not as point-like dots, but as tiny one-dimensional vibrating loops of energy or strings. There's been no validation of string theory at all. These vibrations determine particle properties like mass and charge. It aims to unify quantum mechanics and general relativity into a single theory of everything. Do you all disagree with this concept? Yes, I disagree with it. because it's, you know, it was somebody's random idea that just simply hasn't validated at all. You know, predictions that it makes that we have the ability to test, they haven't validated. Hodge's theory nowadays is generalized to some algebraic geometric scheme and sheaf sort of thing that I know nothing about. Except it predicts 10 dimensions and a whole bunch of mental gymnastics to try to fix that. The thing is, when you say it predicts 10 dimensions, you mean it predicts that there'd be 10 spatial dimensions? Because I don't want to be a buzzkill, but there's pretty obviously only 3. Yeah, but there are dimensions we can't see. Oh, come on now. Let's not have that little equivocation game. But if you're doing AI, you might be interested in information geometry, or more interestingly, stochastics on manifolds. The wild page on that claims it proves serious classical theorems such as the Atiyah-Singer index theorem. Not the Atiyah-Singer index theorem. Surely it can't claim to have solved that. That's ridiculous. Nobody will ever solve that. That's like Ricky Henderson's stolen bass record. Alright, this A's game is turning out disastrously. Let me see if I can do a little cleaning up in here, / I don't know what else. You know, life is Eric. It's not necessarily easy, not always fun. Sometimes it's full of shame and anxiety. But you know what? Like you, I today can brag about being alive. I'm alive despite the universe's best efforts to kill me. Alright, maybe the universe hasn't been trying that hard to kill me. But, you know, life itself is high risk. You could die at any moment. So that's why you gotta celebrate the small victories, like being alive. And yeah, it's not a small victory. It's kind of like the most important victory of all. You might say, yeah, but if I were dead, Eric, I wouldn't even be sad about it because I'd be dead. You don't know that. We don't know what happens after you die. Maybe you have to spend 100 years in the regret room. And you muse upon all your failings. Try to learn a lesson. Get in the regret room, newly dead soul. The regret room? Yeah. You're gonna spend a lot of time in there. Fucking dumbass. What? We were watching how you lived. You were doing it all wrong. And now you can go fuck off in the regret room. Oh. I'm not looking forward to that. What? I'm already in the regret room? Oh yeah, that's great. Thanks for reminding me. Alright, let's clean this pot. That way, we won't regret leaving the pot dirty in the sink. Oh, pasta sauce. You stained my scrub brush orange. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it out. Because tomato sauce is, of course, the most stainy thing in all of cooking. It's really quite horrible. Enough to make me want to not make spaghetti and stuff. You know? I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe like, get out of here, tomato sauce. Look at this hair. Oh, these long Rachel hairs here. Okay, got it. Then we're going to put this pot back where it goes. Can you believe that we lived here for such a long time without successfully using the remote controls of the TV? And then just the other night, a little encouragement from Ruben and Acacia, I successfully found the remote control, put in some new batteries, and it works just fine. How ridiculous is that? What in the world is wrong with it? Yeah, we've been live here for over 3 years. And the only thing preventing me the remote control was me, a total lack of diligence in searching through the 6 or 7 remote controls that were in the center thing of the chair, finding the right one and replacing the battery. Are you serious? Now that's a true mental illness. Called incredibly stupid dumbass syndrome. You'll have to excuse me. I suffer from incredibly stupid dumbass syndrome, or ISDS, as the psychologists call it. Don't feel bad for me. I'm on medication. It's not really helping, but doctors tell me some people do occasionally show a little bit of improvement, but it's kind of a lifelong chronic condition I'm just going to have to manage. All right. Well, I made a little bit of a start on cleaning the kitchen. I wouldn't call it clean, but butterfly pasta is the correct wrong answer. Murphy's Law. What's the best type of pasta out there? Well, when I made pasta the other night, we had... Ever wondered why I'm hard to read? I had an appendectomy. That's a different kind of appendix, Gil. It's a totally different kind of appendix. Geometric monstrosity? Are you talking about my face? Will never forgive my grandparents for using that as default in my formative years. Using what as default? Butterfly pasta? You think they should have used rigatoni? A rigatoni or perhaps a ravioli? Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. You know what I like with Italian food? Anything that has ricotta cheese in it. I think ricotta cheese is very good. And I want to give the country of Italy a wonder point for having invented it. Good job, Italy. Good job with the ricotta cheese. All right. We're making some real progress here. We put the bread pan back. Got this little butter dish. Let me get a paper towel. Wipe it out. Put that in the sink. Well, that'll go in the dishwasher. You go in the dishwasher, little boy. You get your little butt in there right now. All right. Wipe up this butter here. I could try to bake another loaf of bread, as last night's bread, once again, did not come out properly, despite the fact that I keep trying this, trying to get it right and try to do it just properly. It's a complete crapshoot. I have no idea what's going on with that bread. You think like, well, you do it, you think you do it basically exactly the same way, it's going to come out exactly the same way, but nope, not with bread apparently. Apparently there's some secret mystical art to it that I have not learned. But I'll figure it out. The thing is, it may have to do with the amount of mixing I'm giving it. Maybe too much, too little. It might have to do with the amount of punching down I'm doing after the first rise. Maybe I need to punch it down less and or let it rise more before I put it in for the second rise. I really don't know. I really don't know. What I do know is that I have greater respect now for bakers than I used to. Not that I disrespected bakers previously, but I didn't realize what a skill it was. A skill that I obviously do not have. Well, let's get started. Let's try again. Let's do it again. Let's try our best. Let's see if we can't get a nice fluffy loaf of bread that's full of risenness. What does it mean to be a top fan? I don't think it means anything really. Same shit up to permutation. All right, well, good for that. Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and make another loaf of bread. Let's get it right this time. Let's win the prize. I am sick and tired of failing at this. So, how are we going to succeed? If in fact I'm so sick and tired of failing, what can we do to make sure we don't fail this time? Well, all right, well, I think I'll go with the not quite so hot water like I did last time. So we'll need a quarter cup of that water, which we'll put into this cup here, where we'll put the yeast, okay? This process I've done so many times now, I've got it memorized, I don't need to look at the recipe or anything. We've got some yeast here. I'm gonna need a tablespoon of butter. Got some butter right here. We're gonna start by cutting the butter. We'll get 1 tablespoon of it. That's about a tablespoon. Might be a little more than a tablespoon, but I'm just gonna say okay. I don't think that's making much of a difference. If it's slightly more than a tablespoon of butter, I mean, it's possible it makes a difference. Who knows with baking? Baking is like, you know, it's wizardry of some sort. Alchemy. Now we're going to get a quarter cup of this water, which is actually quite hot. Put it in there. And then I want to put just a pinch of sugar in my yeast, in the water, because the yeast will like it better if I have a bit of sugar in it. Doesn't have to be very much. Okay. Now we're going to get 1 tablespoon of yeast. Just pour that in here like so. And we just put it in the water like that. And then I do like to kind of stir it around a little bit, but it's always tricky business stirring yeast around, because whatever you try to stir it with, yeast is the stickiest stuff in history. It will stick to it. Yeast is the bong resin of the baking world. Okay. Hopefully I didn't scald the yeast, as they say. That might have been a little too hot. I don't know. Probably fine. Okay. Now I need to get 5/8 of a cup of water. And you might say, 5/8 of a cup of water, Eric? Do you even have an 1/8 of a cup measuring cup? Well, you ask good questions, because the answer is no, I don't. Kitty, you need to get down. You need to get down. We do not need you on the counter. Okay, get down, sweetie. Get down. Go on, get down. Go on, get down. Okay. We get another half of this. So Since I don't have an eighth of a cup, what I do have is a quarter cup, and I can look at whether or not it's halfway. And this is about halfway. Alright, now we've got our waters put together there with our yeast and our butter. We're going to put this back in the fridge. We don't need this one anymore. We will need this cup here, and we will still need this thing. So, let's go. Don't be a hoe. So, let's go. Let's go to the show. This is flour. They make this by grinding up just the kernel part of the wheat plant. And you might say, well, if it's just ground up wheat, why is it all white? Well, nobody knows the answer to that. Nobody knows. It's one of those mysteries science just has not been able to solve. 1 cup of flour. And this will be 2 cups of flour. That's how much flour we need. Put this cup back, put this flour back. Now we're going to put a little bit of salt in. How much salt? Half a teaspoon. That's how much. Now, normally I give the yeast more time to proof, but I'm thinking maybe I let it proof too long and it loses some of its juice. So, I'm going to try this approach this time. We're going to pour this in right now. And we're going to pour this liquid into this cup. And then we're going to pour this out like so. That way we get out more of the yeast. I can use my finger here to try to get a little bit last bit of it in there. All right, good enough. All right, now we're going to put this on. This goes onto this little spike here. Then when you get to the top, you got to turn it so that it, there it goes. So this locks in place. Okay, now we lift it up and turn this on. It's going to stir it around for a while. We'll let it go for a while. Maybe I'll let it go a little longer than usual. You use WD-40 for lube, huh? Well, the advantage of that is that when you're fapping it, it doesn't squeak so much. There it goes, it locked in properly. It always does that. Alright, good job, Joe. You're doing a fine job. Just keep up the good work. I'm just gonna leave you go. I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. When I come back, we'll see how we're doing. What happened to that legendary sword you used to wield, Skygear? I put it back in my pants. That is the best possible answer to that question, I think. I think we can all agree on that. Well, what I'd recommend is that You stop being so gross. Like, if you're gonna be provocative, do it in a more interesting way than just being sexual and vulgar and gross. I'm sorry, but is that too much to ask? Just be a little bit more interesting? I don't think so. I told the same thing to your mom last night when I was coming on her face. So, don't feel like you're being singled out. Your mom said, "You're right, Eric. I should be less vulgar. I don't know what's wrong with me." I tell you what's wrong with you. You're a filthy cum dumpster. That's what I told that guy's mom. So yeah, this is a family show. We try to keep the vulgarity down to a minimum. Say things like heck and darn. We refer to reproduction in some sort of clinical term, like mating, reproduction, sexual intercourse. You guys ever hear that joke about the Native Americans? They're hanging out, and one Indian says to the other, "Running deer, how we Indians get names?" And Running Deer says, "When squaw gives birth to papoose, we look out the teepee, and whatever we see first, that's what we name the baby. Why you ask, two dogs fucking?" You ever hear that joke before? Pretty good joke. Not too bad. Unless you've got some kind of unreasonably high joke standards. We're not going to rush it. We're just going to let it go a little bit longer than I normally do. Is that Rachel? Hi, Rachel. Hello. Hi, Elaine. All right. How are we coming along here, Joe? I think it looks about ready. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to touch the dough. And we're just going to hope that this bread decides to really show us what it's made of today. Instead of just screwing around. Your job is to rise. Your job is to rise up against corporate greed. Okay, we're gonna mold it into a ball as best we can. Just do this to mush all the seams of it together. I think maybe that's one of my ongoing problems is that when I machine mix it, it doesn't really get all the seams out. But I don't think it's really, I'm getting all the seams out either, so I don't know. You know how when you buy a loaf of bread at the store, it's all nice and perfectly shaped and there's no seams like this? Well, I can assure you, these seams are a source of significant consternation as they turn into weak spots in the bread's crust that makes it impossible to cut a nice slice of bread off. And what am I going to do? I don't know how to deal with this seam. I don't know how to make it go away. Maybe if I make it more of a ball shape and less of a loaf shape. But still, the bottom is horrible. Who knew bread was so complicated? Totally, woefully inadequate, but so it goes. So it goes. I could cut here so that it's got a little bit of give. It could just rise away from that. Now I could turn it over. Yeah. Okay, that's fine for now. Now we just need to get a piece of saran wrap. Here's a pro tip. Don't try to rip the saran wrap, just cut it. You won't regret it. Whereas if you do try to rip it, very high likelihood that you will regret it. Oh sure, maybe you still have a little box that comes in with a serrated edge. Well, aren't you fancy? Real human beings don't have that still, okay? So get over yourself. I'm so fancy I have to have the box. Talk about Squaresville. I knew I was going to do that. Every time I go to do this, it goes up by 5 minutes at a time until it gets to 1 hour, then it jumps immediately to 2 hours. So, an hour and a half, that happens every time. I am becoming a perfect housewife. I do an excellent job of, a lot of SI stuff. Like right now, I need to take a little something called the trash, a little somewhere called out. You can see Rachel's trash is all the way full. Now it's my time to shine. Rachel did her job by filling up this trash can. Now it's my time to shine. Who makes the dough? I make the dough. I make the dough that makes the whole world sing. Don't do this. I hate it when I go to use the trash compactor and I discover that the last time I compacted the trash, I left it in the trash compactor. You weren't thinking, Eric. You weren't thinking at all. You're right. That's true. But I still don't like it when you hurt my feelings like that. Now let's get hardcore all up in this shiz by cutting down this box with a box cutter. But Eric, you didn't even have a box cutter. I do too. God, you guys are nasty. See, I have one right here. Everybody wants to just shit on me all the time. Like, you can't do this, you don't have that. I can do it, and I do have it. But Eric, you're not strong enough to cut up a box. I am too. This is not my first box I've ever cut up. So I just happened to get like the toughest box in history. Chopped it with my chopper, and now it's getting small. There. I chopped it up. Now I have to pick it up and put it in the trash can. And there we go. All done. All right. Just double check. I did not leave the trash in the compactor again. And look at this. You can already see it's starting to balloon up because it's releasing some gases of some kind. Who knows what kind of gas? Could be hydrogen, could be helium, could be carbon dioxide, could be chlorine gas. Is this Negan? No, I'm not Negan. I believe you're referencing a character from The Walking Dead. I've never watched the show, but I've had other people make the comparison before. No one likes a thick olive. Keep that in mind next time I'm slicing olives. Athletics. Why do you do this to me? Why? Seems like every other game we get blown out by a bunch of runs. It's ridiculous. You, hey Ruben, you okay? Ruben, I'm more than okay. I'm just thinking of delicious, delicious, delicious standard bread. Yeah, well, Ruben, maybe I'm not capable yet of making standard bread. Maybe I'm still making substandard bread. But you know what? Someday I'm going to make the best bread anybody's ever tasted.
You already do.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your support of my martial art that I've undertaken.
It's really brilliant.
Bread making is definitely a martial art.
Yeah, it is.
It's a discipline you have to master with much practice.
Do you mind rolling me some joints?
Not at all.
Thanks.
No, Sky Gear, you don't put more seeds in bread. You put less seeds in bread. Ideally, 0 seeds. Putting like seeds and grains and stuff in bread, that's just a healthy scam. Like pretend it's more healthy, but it really is less healthy. Why is it less healthy? Because that's not supposed to be in bread. That's why. Don't think about it too much, just agree with me. Bread should just be bread. Ideally, it doesn't even have any crust, it's just bread. Oh, sorry, I forgot to replace the bag.
That's alright.
You guys didn't tell me. You could have warned me that I was forgetting to replace the bag.
Oh, that's true. They were, witnessing.
Do I live in the middle of nowhere or somewhere on the outskirts of nowhere? It's hard to say. It's like I live in the middle of California, and there are population centers not too far from me, but it's about an hour to get to the closest town of any population, which is Merced. If you want to eat seeds and bread, just have a bowl of seeds and then your bread. Don't try to mix them together. That's like saying, can you serve my salad, my soup, my entree, and my dessert all at the same time? I'm just going to mix them all together. No, that's not how you do things. That's not a better way to eat things. You have to keep every ingredient completely separate from every other ingredient in all instances. So I'm going to roll some joints here for Rachel.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my darling. My pleasure.
Your joints.
Thanks. I love my knees more than my elbows, but all my joints are, better than not having joints.
You feel like a slime.
Yeah. Well, Tiffany does call me weird knees man.
Oh, she does.
Because she doesn't have joints in her knees,
Oh.
so she thinks it's really.
What's she been up to? She's been kind of quiet.
She's been spending a lot of time drinking almond milk and watching TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So not too much then.
She's been watching actually Steve Billings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She loves the drama. Is there a social life when you live any time away from civilization? It sounds idyllic, but also a lot of people sounds boring. Well, it's a mixed bag, I guess. Rachel and I have a bit of a limited appetite, I think, for real life socializing. I also think, though, that if we didn't have the YouTube channel, I at least would feel kind of isolated back here probably. But because I engage with people on the internet like this, I don't feel that
Yeah,
way.
I agree. If we didn't have the channel and being able to do it, it would be too isolating.
And we do know some people here. You know, not a ton, but we know Jared and Kay and Brennan and JoJo, and JoJo seems really interested in like incorporating us into his larger group of musician friends and such.
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll actually end up doing that because the thing is, I'm I'm very kind of snobby about music, I guess, and like playing music with people who aren't making good music doesn't really sound that appealing to me. But depending on the context, situation, or whatever, I'd be down if if the opportunity arises and I'm in the right mood, you know.
Yeah, that's what matters. It has to be those things.
And so now I got to take care of some laundry, kitchen cleaning stuff with time to spare. Oh, is that got to in the past tense? Hello, Australia. Good day to you as well. Roby,
Robin Murray.
Robin Murray. Um, watch out for snakes. If you don't know, Australia has many of the most deadly snakes in the world.
What's the difference between the Australian flag and the New Zealand flag? I get them mixed up.
Or maybe that's New Zealand. I don't know.
Let me see.
Maybe you're right. I think maybe you're
I
right.
get them mixed up.
But because it said G'day, I'm thinking that's Australia.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just don't know.
Diamonds. Diamond is here. Diamonds are expensive. You are alive. And that's something to celebrate. Because a lot of people were alive yesterday. They're not alive today.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know. They look the same. Uh, the New Zealand flag has 1, 2, 4 stars, and uh, Australian flag.
Has a different number of stars.
I think so. Yeah, it does. It has 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 stars. It looks like that one might be New Zealand.
Hmm. Do they say G'day in New Zealand?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Robin Murray, do you mind helping us out? Are you from New Zealand or Australia?
Robin Murray's just enjoying watching us struggle with the
Oh, I'm
question.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just joking. I'm sure that's not the case. Good catch. Wasn't sure of your nationality till you spoke. We're from America.
Yeah, we're from America.
We're from California, America. And then today I could tell from their text that they would rather rain check.
That's good, FE.
So you're like, why don't we do another time?
You know, it makes me sad hearing stories about younger kids having like birthday parties, and then everyone like canceling the day of the party. I'm like, that sucks. Like,
Why does that happen?
I don't know. Oh, Australia, Brisbane. Our neighbor is from
Melbourne?
Brisbane, I thought.
Oh, maybe she was at.
I thought she spent time in Brisbane.
Yeah, she just got back from Australia. She went there to visit her family for a few months. Such a party happened to me. A party happened to you?
Uh-oh. A typology party?
I like very much that construction of that sentence.
Mm.
Look, I don't know. I had no say in the matter. A party just happened to me. Oh, such a party just happened to you.
Oh. Yeah, Lane, I hear that that's like not uncommon that like people will throw a party and that the day of people will like back out. And I'm like, that's so lame.
Lawrence Butler at the plate, 2 men on, top of the bottom of the seventh. Um,
It's important to socialize, you know? Like I even know as an introvert how important it is to socialize. Like I can tell when I haven't been around people because I'll just say weird things like um we got orange chicken. I got orange chicken from the deli the other day, and I forgot an utensil. And I went up to the counter, and instead of just being like, "Oh, hello," I was like, "I forgot a fork." Like I didn't even like. I wasn't even like nice.
well, good for you, lady, said the people behind the counter.
No, I think it was. I wasn't like I forgot a fork. Like I was like, cause she could tell. Like I was kind of like,
Flustered.
yeah.
Flustered like Custer at Little Bighorn.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Ruben. I felt dumb at the time. I was like, "Oh wow, my FE was really bad there." But that happens if I don't have a lot of social contact. I become weird. Yeah, they do. They do. And like talking to you guys helps for sure. Um, but in person stuff is different. You have eye contact, right? You have to No, I'm trying to get better at saying things like goodbye and hello and making eye contact with the person instead of just like looking away and going on and doing my business. I realize how much more personal it feels when you say, "Oh, thank you," and you make eye contact with the person.
I'm glad I have some of the obliviousness of third slot FE. I
Yeah.
don't think about that kind of stuff very much.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Elaine. well, like, not long in the face, but like, acknowledging that I heard that they say had a good day, have a good day, or thank you, or just, not being in a total rush to just like flippantly like go about my day. I don't know. It, I notice it in myself. It bothers me, so I want to work on it.
Many mathematicians avoid eye contact like the plague. Well, a nice job, Muncie. It might be like me where I don't like to make eye contact because
Oh, good
I'm
job.
listening to what the person's saying, which means obviously to listen properly means to not be looking at things. For me, not for other people necessarily, but
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, yeah, Sky Gear and Tuatards are historically not amongst the best at getting chicks.
No. My dad always used to tell me how difficult it was for him.
The thing is, there's this video out there that I guess has gone viral called Retard Maxing
Oh, I haven't heard.
by an SE Dom of some kind who says, like, the title of it is like Retard Max because thinking is gay.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's funny.
And his whole point is, don't think about stuff or talk about stuff, just do stuff. It's good advice, maybe, but you can't possibly apply it if you don't have that kind of relationship with SE.
It's true, Sky here. It's prioritizing the discussions of the socialization. Right. Like, that's what eye contact, like, means to me, is that, like, I'm paying attention to what the person is saying instead of the act of the socialization. I don't know. I want people to feel heard.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't behave differently when I'm in real life engagements than maybe I do around here. I talk a lot less and um, ask more questions, listen more. But I still don't make eye contact, probably. As part of my long-standing campaign, the whole idea of looking at things. I'm tired of the tyranny of the eyes. Who can ever recall a time when they gained any particular anything from looking at something? Nobody can. Why? Because looking at something is not a good use of your time. The idea is that socialization is different to discussion, and it's sort of a thing and two-tards often don't intrinsically understand. I mean, I do get that. So when I am socializing in real life, I am generally not discussing things or exchanging ideas. I'm just kind of engaging in blandery. I'm prioritizing the socialization aspect, um, but even though I am prioritizing that aspect of things, I'm not prioritizing the eye contact part of it.
Well, there's it's a double-edged sword because making eye contact and making sure that you're like hearing the discussion also invites people who you might not want to have a conversation with.
Right. It tells them I'm affirming this engagement of yours.
Right.
Good, Jay Willie. We need another run here. 7-3 now, so it's not out of the question.
No, it's not. It's really not. We've come back. We've been able to.
Yeah, it's a scrappy team.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that Scrappy Doo was the first Jar Jar Banks?
Scrappy Doo was the first Jar Jar Binks. Oh well, maybe. That makes sense.
I don't think was there a population of people who liked Scrappy Doo?
I don't know. Don't most people find him annoying? Isn't that the purpose? He's supposed to be like the moral.
Well, I mean, I see it as an ill advised character addition to a universe that only suffered from his addition. In that regard, he's like Jar Jar Banks. Would, well, I tell you what, we're all going to gain is the benefit of being alive. Thanks to our ongoing life, um, we have the opportunity to do any number of variety of things, have experiences, think thoughts, even feel emotions. You might say, Eric, why would we want to do that? It's worth it, believe me. It's good to feel some emotions occasionally.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's 7-4 now.
Mm-hmm. Wild pitch.
Oh, good stuff.
And Geloff had a huge lead off at third.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Being alive is underrated. I mean, I would say that often being alive goes unrated by people. They think about the specifics of their life a lot, but not the fact that they are alive and that that's a value in and of itself. I've got a really smart Magic 8 ball. Every time I shake it, it says, approach decision making differently. At which point I'm reminded to put the Magic 8 ball away and actually make a decision in some meaningful sense. But as far as decision making in general goes, I find myself thinking about like the randomizing qualities of being human every time I leave here to go out in the car anywhere. I just here, like 100 feet down from the driveway, I have to make a decision. Do I go down, over, and up, or do I go like this? I think they're about the same duration, although I have not actually timed them. The top route's a little bit shorter distance, but it's more like up and down and windy. The bottom route is a little bit longer, but it's flatter and more straightforward. And I've been able to pick up some patterns of my behavior on it. Like, I do believe I'm more likely to take the lower route when I'm coming home. When I'm leaving here, it seems to be that I take the top or the bottom kind of in equal amounts, and I don't know and cannot figure out what exactly it is that makes me decide to go one way or the other way on any given occasion. So it's like, all right, well, this is an example of my expression of consciousness displaying something equivalent to a random number generator. Shit is legit. Green-eyed people exist, making up 2% of the population. So we're only down by 3. Sure, it's the 8th inning, but we got 6 outs here to get 3 runs. Your Magic 8 Ball may or may not be generated by a Perplexity AI. Well, it's different if you have a quantum Magic 8 Ball. Because then it has the power to collapse things from superposition. With the power of quantum. Thanks to this guy, I can't accept anything less. I don't fuck with magic. You know why it's called quantum? It's because, like, energy of photons, it functions like it's not a smooth, yeah. It'll like jump from quanta to quanta. Like it'll be in this area, and when it gets close to here, it'll jump down to the next thing. It's like notes on a piano rather than, say, sliding down a fretless string. And that's why it's called quantum. Boom, speed up next time, buddy. Quantum is weirdly close to quacktum. Maybe it has to do with ducks. You make a compelling argument. That's why time is relative to the speed of ducks. When ducks are slow, time moves slowly. When ducks are fast, time flies. Ergo, time flies more when ducks fly than when they swim. That's just deductively obvious. It's like quantizing on a sequencer. That's another example of quantizing. Saying you must jump to this spot or the next spot and nothing in between. You scoundrel. You wily scoundrel. Trying to get away with shenanigans when I'm not looking. Okay, I think we'll go country pop. I played with this one the other day. Last night, maybe. It's a good one. This is muted trumpet. Meow yourself, kitty. I said, meow yourself. I am tired of all of your meowings. It's always like meow, 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 meow. Come watch me eat. But you know what? I'm tired of your meowings. Don't want no more meowings. And if you really respect me as a person, you get that. Well, truth is, I don't respect you as a person. I see you as my bitch. And truth is, I'll never stop meowing, and you're never gonna scratch that itch. And when you don't come in to watch me, I'm just gonna meow a whole bunch more until you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, okay, I'll come in there. Stop meowing anymore. This fucking cat. Did you not hear my song, Trouble? If you heard it, you were obviously not going to be moved by its wisdoms. Eat. Go ahead, eat. I don't want to play, haha, now I'm making you stand here while I don't even eat. Trouble is eating, like a lot of things at the very smallest levels, is in a state of superposition until I collapse it by watching him. Then and only then does he attain the status of eating or not eating. My hope is when the quantum computers get fancy enough that I'll be able to compute in advance the state of eating he's going to have and thereby not have to actually watch him. Well, I don't know. You know, his eating, not eating states are quantized. It's either one or the other, there's nothing in between. Once you get him started, he'll eat for a little while after you stop watching, but not that long. I'll get a beverage. I'll get this beverage here, and I'll have a little snack. I'm gonna have some cottage cheese. I should make some food though. What is the meowing of life? The meowing of life, from Trouble's perspective, is this is mine, so is that, so are you, fuck off. That's the meowing of life as far as Trouble's concerned. Well, you know, he's a legendarily bad cat. Once in a generation, you get a cat as bad as he is. Because he's bad in every way you can imagine. From his excessive shedding to his bullying Capio to his controlling food habits to his sitting in the worst possible place so you're going to trip over him. He has AIDS. If you let him, he'll push you out of bed by lying between the two of you and when getting increasingly more diagonal until both of you are on the very sliver of edge of the bed. Like a dog, every time I eat anything, he demands to either have some or at least be given access to some so that he can make the decision as to whether he likes it. He's just the worst cat you can imagine in every possible way that a cat can be bad. I don't care if you're playing a song, Eric. I'm gonna meow, meow, meow. You know what, Trouble? Maybe you should look in your heart a little bit and see if you really ought to be acting like that. Maybe you should appreciate me instead of pushing me around all the time with your irresistible kitty ways. This is some salsa music. Yeah, I'm so meow whipped. I'm meow whipped. Cause my cat, my meow whipped. Cause my cat is bad. Yeah, I'm meow whipped. Cause my cat, meow whipped. Cause my cat is bad. Let's go down to Brazil and do the samba. I mean the mamba. It's called the salsa. Let's go down to Brazil and do the salsa. Everybody like to do the salsa with me now. Ay, 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 it's so true. Oh, Margarine, I'm so glad we took this cruise down to South America. It's so romantic. And don't you just love this jazzy salsa music? I know I do. Yes, you love the jazzy salsa music all the time. With the jazzy salsa beats and these jazzy salsa rhymes. And if you are done with the listening to salsa now, you can dip your chips into it, and that is how you will enjoy your chips a little more, thanks to salsa. Now get out there on the dance floor. S A L S A spell salsa. Not a huge fan of the salsa beat, I don't think. Beguine. What does this sound like? Beguine, huh? Reggae. welcome to Jamaica. We're having a reggae time. Everybody's singing their reggae songs and sitting in the sunshine. Everybody's like, I want to have a reggae song inside of my head right now. So they put on the reggae beat on the keyboard, and then that is how you know that it's reggae time. It's time for some reggae. Everybody loves it when they're in their college dorm room, maybe. But now that you're an adult, it's okay to still love reggae too, because all reggae sounds exactly like what I'm now singing to you. Let's go, reggae. Not Ray straight, no reggae. I'm reggae for gay, reggae. It's my favorite kind of reggae. I'm gay for reggae, gay. It's my favorite kind of gay. I'm ray for gay. I'm gay for reggae. And if you want to be gay for reggae as well, then you can just get super gay for reggae. And if you're gay for reggae, then perhaps your name is Ray J, and you are super gay for reggae. And if you're not so gay for reggae, you could start to be gay for reggae soon if you wanted to. If you try to, you can do it too. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Let's all get gay for reggae. Let's all get gay for reggae. If you don't want to be gay for reggae, then get out of here, cause this is the gay bar, reggae gay bar. That's for sure. You can get gay in the reggae gay bar more than you can get gay in any other gay bar, whether it's not reggae or it's by far different, like I don't know, maybe ska. That's not that different though, ma. And you know what I want to go to tonight? I want to go to the reggae gay club, alright. Let's go. Let's go tonight. Well, that's fine. That was fine. Foxtrot. Oh yeah, we're going on a foxtrot. Oops. Foxtrot. Come on, everybody, let's do the foxtrot. I wanna do the foxtrot tonight with you. Like to foxtrot, alright, well, we'll get a foxtrot fruit together, together. You probably, yeah. We going to foxtrot all night long. I'm gonna start foxtrotting weak but strong. Soon later, when I get the hang of the foxtrot, Grandma took me aside one day and she said, it's time for you to learn how to foxtrot like a gentleman should today. I said, what's that? She's all, it's a special dance you do. You trot around with a fox or two. And when you're done foxtrotting, you can do the Charleston. I'm like, but Grandma, I don't want to do the foxtrot. I also dislike the Charleston a lot. And Grandma's like, who cares what you want? Your debutante ball is coming up soon. And if you don't know how to foxtrot, you'll be the laughing stock of the debutante ball, and you don't want that, cause it's your one time to shine. I'm like, but Grandma, I don't want to have a debutante ball. I'm not a girl, first of all, and I think that tradition's deprecated. So that's enough foxtrotting. That's enough for all of these things. But surely, Eric, you want to see what jive works like. Okay, this is jive, huh? Doesn't sound that jive to me. Is it like, is it really that jive? I'm a real jive turkey down the street. I'm jive turkey in everyone I meet. I'm a real jive turkey with a jivey way. Everybody says you're jivey Dave. My jive nature is a jivey time. I grew up around some jivey rhymes. I grew up in a jivey climb, and now they call me Mr. Jivey Time. Look out. But if you wanna be like me and get more jivey, then see what I have to tell you. 'Cause jiving like this don't just happen, it's the consequence of eating plenty of melons all the time. Jive, that spells jive. And hey, today you are alive. And that is a whole lot better than the alternative. For example, Abraham Lincoln, he's not alive. Hasn't been since 1905. Thomas Jefferson, another one who is dead. And let's consider the case of Nancy Reagan. She's also dead and buried in a playground on top of which children play unaware. So if you want a job that makes sense to me, 'cause you are alive like Nancy Reagan, who is dead and has been for a long time. So go ahead and JIVE soon, and if you don't, then perhaps it'll be past noon before you realize you're still alive. That's enough terrible songs from Eric. I have both a minimum and maximum number of terrible songs I'm allowed at any given day. I'm required to have at least 4 terrible songs. I'm not allowed to have more than 7. Well, it is the top of the 9th inning. We're still trailing by 3 runs. Hopefully we'll get out of this to the bottom of the 9th, where we will rally, tie it up, maybe even walk it off. That would be great. I'd be fine with that. Not so much of a fan of this whole losing by 3 runs thing, but it's not over until it's over. All right, now this says it's got, according to the timer, it should have 30 minutes left of rising. But God, look how much it's risen already. It's really doing great today. But this is just the first rise. The first rise is the easy part. It's the second rise that really poses an engineering challenge of some sort. I remember what the solution I used yesterday for the second rise was, as far as making it such that it doesn't doesn't get air on it. It's important to not let it get air on it. If it gets air on it, then it gets this like dried out, kind of crusty outer layer that between the first rise and the second rise, you can't mix it back into the dough very well. Now, it may be less important for the second rise, but I still try to keep air off of it because I figure it's got more flexibility, more sure, let's talk about Donald Trump. He's he's he was the inventor of retard maxing. He was retard maxing long before it was cool. And now he's showing us all that you don't have to be a young man to perform at the absolute top level of retard maxing. I would say that he may be setting some records that stand for a while. That doesn't just happen. You got to both be naturally super retarded and be actively, willfully trying to be more retarded, even. So, give credit where credit is due. Donald Trump is an absolute world class expert on being a retard. You like a novel take? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about the guy because his whatever, his everything is completely incomprehensible. I don't think anybody could come up with any good explanation of why he does this or that when he does it. I mean, maybe there is an explanation, but I can't even conceive of what it would be. You know, you're not wrong. It does contrast somewhat with his previous term. I mean, much more impactful this time. I don't know what to make of it. It's just like people have posited that perhaps Israel is blackmailing him to go along with their "Hey, I got a good idea. Let's attack Iran" thing. Um, I suppose it's possible, but like, I mean, I've never seen any interview of him that that is suggestive of any actual intelligence. It's all just, you know, at his most intelligent sounding, he can sound to somebody who's not critiquing the matter very well, like he's smart about business, but he doesn't sound like he's smart in a meaningful sense about anything. He never has. He's always been this guy who wants to put his name on everything, like like a little kid. I guess he must be charismatic to some extent. I don't view him as charismatic at all, but maybe that's just because I don't know what charismatic is. I guess. All right. Well, our bread's coming along beautifully. I have high hopes. The Apprentice was fun. I mean, I never watched it. It seems like he's mostly good at like competence theater. You know, like for him, confidence is bravado plus decisiveness plus, I guess, knowing the power of anthill kicking. You know, he's always had this ability to do something outrageous. People start to get all up in arms about it. And then, before anything could conceivably happen regarding that, he does something else outrageous that makes it just impossible for anybody to stay on task, I guess. He's quite he's quite an expert at SE stuff, you know. The Mets have lost 11 in a row. I heard they were. I'm watching them right now. It's not over yet. It's the bottom of the ninth inning. We're down by 3 runs. We got one on and one out. I think his trick is to just overwhelm the information feed. Yeah, well, that's a good way of putting it. It's it's quite a thing to behold. I mean, the whole development of everything in the world is so weird and kind of future shocky, and that it definitely makes you think, well, maybe we are in a simulation. I mean, how could this possibly be reality where we've got this fucking pedo retard as president? While concurrently, you know, we've got AI having, you know, dramatically destabilizing people's understanding of the future and their role in it in various ways. I've always been kind of interested in the concept of the singularity. People mean different things when they use the term. It seems to refer to something that's not very precisely defined, but essentially has something to do with the idea that advancement reaches some point of either, you know, escape velocity slash critical mass, whatever you want to call it, in which, quote unquote, like everything changes. Well, I don't know. I like the idea. I think it's an interesting idea. And certainly it is the case that some some systems work like that, you know. You can keep shooting up a rocket into the sky and it will keep falling back down to Earth until you shoot it up at a certain speed, and then it will not fall back down to Earth but will go into outer space. But I'm not sure that any attempt to understand technology as you know, entangled enough with each other to collectively produce some kind of meaningful thing being measured. I have my doubts about that. Let's see what this says. Oh, boo! The Athletics lost. We are being linguistically controlled, like on YouTube. People started saying unalive. I mean, I'm not too worried about this phenomenon that you're pointing to. I think by and large, YouTube's attempt to enforce some degree of civil discourse uh, is good. To the extent that YouTube is genuinely squeamish about certain topics and that negatively impacts people's ability to communicate about those topics. Well, that may be true to some extent, but I suspect it also has to do with creators erring on the side of caution without actually testing things out at all themselves. So, you see one other person start to use these euphemisms to keep their video monetized. You end up with a lot of other creators who do it, even if they don't have a monetized channel, because they don't really know why that person's doing it. And better safe than sorry. I think there's a fair amount of that going on. The problem is that people don't think like me, and I say this dead serious. Yeah, well, you know, we can see with talking with famous people, now there are plenty of other possible good reasons why people aren't, it doesn't attract very much attention or what have you. But number one is that people want to engage emotionally with content, whether that content is typology, political content, or just something bland. What video of mine has gotten by far the most views in the last month? It's a short I made after Rachel ordered pancakes that says, "Could you tell if your pancakes didn't have buttermilk in them?" Because I was wondering, like, it says buttermilk pancakes, but would we even know if it didn't really have buttermilk in it? I wouldn't. Anyway, that got like 30,000 views or something. Contrast that with my short about why we can't define truth in any useful sense, which was exactly right and incredibly revelatory about things. Very important observation that would clear up a lot of confusion for a lot of people, but nobody's interested in that video. They're like, what? I care about defining truth. That's not fun. The pursuit of fame is a dystopian endeavor. Is that what that says? That's not what it says. Sisyphean endeavor. Um, I mean, it's definitely not. Like, it's possible for people to get over the top of the hill and then they're famous for the rest of their lives, because once you've gotten a certain level of fame, then you remain famous for being famous, unless you really disappear from view for a long time, you know? You have to compromise your own standards. I mean, it might be the case that I mean, I'd like to think that's not true, first of all. Like, let's say I were able to make music that was good enough. I think it would succeed on its merits. You know? Why wouldn't it? And it certainly wouldn't involve me compromising any of my integrity or anything. It would just mean that I finally did it good enough. And regarding content, like talking content, um, it it might be the case for me that I'd have to. I mean, it wouldn't even be compromising my standards. It would be I'd have to behave other than exactly how I feel like all the time. But that might involve some compromise, or better word for it would be effort on my part. But for somebody who's naturally inclined to want to and try to engage people emotionally in a way that can actually get a lot of attention, well, those people don't have to compromise their vision at all. Like, what you're saying has the most truth when it comes to political content. Nobody wants to consume political content that's not rabble rousing against one or the other team. That's the only kind of political content people want to consume. People are allergic to my correctness kind of content that says, listen, everybody, get your goddamn emotions out of this process. You have no business feeling things about this. If what everybody needs to understand is that talking about politics is extremely dry and boring. And accordingly, most people shouldn't bother talking about it, don't want to talk about it, makes perfect sense. That does not mean that people should instead pervert political discourse into something that's more exciting for them but destructive to America. Obs magobs. It seems pretty obs magobs to me, but you know, obviously, the same thing that makes it obs magobs to me is what other people don't have that makes it not obs magobs to them. Right, correctness is unpopular because, like I said, people don't want, they might want to learn some things, learn correct stuff, but only certain kinds of things does that apply to. And what they definitely don't want to be is corrected. Most people see my correcting them as some sort of ontological assault upon them rather than as doing them a service. So the bottom line is the real problem isn't any kind of corporate social engineering, although such may be in play. The real problem is people don't want what's good for society and civilization. They want what's pleasurable for them. So, I've been around for a long time hearing people doing hand wringing about bias in media and how, what's happened to the real news. Now these news shows are just banal entertainment with stories about little Susie who went to the zoo. Well, the reason it's like that is because that's what people want. It's not any more complicated than that, that's what people want. They want human interest, heartwarming stuff, and to the extent they want to engage with more difficult topics, they don't want any ambiguity or uncertainty or nuanced parsing of the thing. They want clarity and certainty framed in the frame of the bad guys versus the good guys. Okay, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to make an executive decision. I believe this has risen enough. It's not been an hour and a half, but I think it's risen enough. I'm going to push it down like I'm supposed to, and then I'm going to let the second rise go for 25 minutes instead of 15. So it's the same total amount of rising time. I'm just splitting it up a little differently. Did I just wash my hands? Yes, I did. Okay. So here we see our little loaf. I'm just going to push it down gently. We're not going to do a whole bunch of rigmarole here. To encourage it to rise up again, like the phoenix from the ashes. Or like the wrongness that follows the fires of my correction. It just sprouts new trees of wrongness as though nothing had ever happened. All right. Well, I tell you what's not guilty of any wrongness. This little loaf of bread. Now we're going to put this bag over it so it doesn't get air on it. Make a little tent so that the dough doesn't rise into the bag. That should be just fine. There we go. Now we're going to preheat this to 500 degrees. And we're going to put a timer on for 25 minutes. We might check it in 20, okay? We might check it in 20. It looks like a sweet potato. Well, I'm pleased to inform you that it is not a sweet potato. Nor is it a regular potato. Instead, populism is democracy's suicide. Well, we will see. We will see what happens. There's not enough people to keep the conversation sane, true, but I would suggest that to the extent that you've got big media things like Google and Meta involved in managing online discourse to some extent, that might be a good thing. Like smart people are in charge of those things. Sweet potatoes are better than bread? Okay. Are you in a who can say the most insanely dumb things contest? Obviously, sweet potatoes are not even at all good. They're they don't even deserve to have the word potato in them, nor sweet. They should be called yams because yam sounds gross, just like yams actually are gross. Well, yeah, smart people with vested interest, but we're not going to end up with some idyllic philosopher king world, right? Where I get elected president because I don't really want the job and I'm capable of it. That we're just I don't see any future where that happens. So yam sounds like yum because that's what they are, yummy. All right, dude. I I don't know what happened to you as a baby. Maybe you accidentally spilled some sulfuric acid on your taste buds or something. But no, absolutely not. Yams are not good, and they never were good. They aren't good now. They never will be good. They are instead the opposite of good. They are gross. Now, hopefully that's put this issue to bed. I don't want any more sass back about yams. Let me guess. You like to slather your yams with mayonnaise. I'm sorry that your taste crippled, but no. Yeah, I know what happened. I was watching it, but he could. We mounted a bit of a comeback, but it fell short. And I was like, come on, guys, it's the fucking White Sox. Like, maybe try a little harder. Oh, that's right, it's NBA playoff time. That's cool. I could watch some playoffs. Let's see. There's also NHL playoff time. Bruins at Sabres. The Boston Bruins at the Buffalo Sabres. So, if you had asked me, does Buffalo have a hockey team? I would have said no, I think. I would have said, I don't think so. I can't think of any team in Buffalo playing hockey. But now that I see this, I realize, hey, Eric, you were doing Buffalo a disservice.
I think it's been a while since they've been in the finals.
I mean, in the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah.
Let's put a timer up. Timer for 20 minutes. Tap to unmute. Yes, I want to unmute. Okay. Buffalo used to have a basketball team, huh? The Buffalo Braves. Well, I guess they decided that Buffalo was not a basketball town. I know that Buffalo has an NFL team, and I know Buffalo has a university. They don't have a baseball team. They may or may not have a Major League Soccer team. I have no idea. But I think by far their premier sports team is the Buffalo Bills. they have a history of doing well, and they're doing well these days with their quarterback Josh Allen. They might have a basket weaving team. I don't know. The Lakers beat somebody yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but the headline said it was an upset. So I guess the Lakers were not picked to win that game. Josh Allen's a choke artist. I don't think that's fair to Josh Allen. Just because they haven't won a Super Bowl doesn't mean he's a choke artist. All right, so Houston versus the Lakers. Let's see how my fantasy baseball teams are doing. The Pairs are up by 30 points over Raymond's Rowdy team. Freddie Freeman is out, got injured, I guess. So I will need to get a first baseman, I guess. Kitty, I don't want you over here right now. Just no, sweetie, no. Get down. All right, fine. I'm gonna have to just get a first baseman. Hopefully, Curtsy is available in this league. Let's see. Athletics. Oh, that's Arizona. Athletics. No, he's not available. All right, well, I need some first baseman. Freddie Freeman's out. He's going to need to go to the DL. I guess I'll take Wilson Contreras. He seems like a good choice. Who am I dropping? Uh, don't worry about that timer. That's not the right timer. I will drop Luke Keechel. Although I'm gonna have to get another player anyway because I should have put Homie on the DL first. Manage injured list. Oh, 2 IL. Good.
Aw.
That's good. Okay, I thought there was no more room, but there was room. So I put Freddie on the DL, and now I can move Contreras to first. I need to get somebody to fill the empty slot on the bench. Let's just see who we got here as an athletic that's available. Max Muncy is doing pretty good. I could get Max Muncy. Plays second and third, so he's got a little bit of versatility. Uh, I wouldn't hate getting Jeffrey Springs if he were available. Let's see. No, Severino, I don't want you. You're just going to just stink it up. All right, fine. I will get not a pitcher. Batters. I will get Max Muncy. I think Max Muncy is a good choice. All right, now let's go to the persimmons. The persimmons are also leading 255 to 209, and that's good. Now let me look at tomorrow. Try to put players who aren't playing on the bench. Okay. So, second baseman Bruce Terang is not playing tomorrow, so I'll replace him with Ernie Clement. Giancarlo Stanton is not playing tomorrow. And I will. Who am I going to replace him with? I don't have anybody to replace him with. Oh, no, I do. I have one person. No, I don't have one person. Girl, darn it. Oh, wait. Maybe I can figure this out. Do I have another third baseman? Yes. Or another second baseman? Yes. No, but he's. Oh, god damn it. They're both off tomorrow. Well, well, well. What are we going to do about this? I guess we're just going to have one of our outfielders not playing tomorrow. Nothing we can do about it. That's fine. That's fine. We'll be fine. Hey, Dead Boy Klaus. Haven't even been to a Super Bowl. He's choke artist adjacent. William Contreras is solid, but I made the mistake of dropping him. But he's Boston's second or third best hitter. He's having some back problems now, though. Well, I just need a temporary replacement while Freddie Freeman's on the disabled list. So it's been a very interesting season so far for the Athletics. They are, I think, now 500, maybe one game below, but we don't have a good run differential because in a lot of our losses we get just shelled, lose. Like today we lost 7-4. Giving up 7 runs with our team, I'm thinking, okay, we could come back and win this. And in fact, we mounted a bit of a comeback, but because it was 7-1 for a long time. Negative run differential of almost 20. Yeah. Well, I tell you who should not be a number one pitcher in the major leagues on any team, even the Rockies or anybody, Severino. Not only is he not our best pitcher, I don't even think he's our second best pitcher. But Kotze's got him in the lineup as our number one guy. Even though, like, every time he gives up, like, 5 runs. Thanks a lot for your used up Severino, Yankees. Hey, you guys want this? Oh, look how good he is. He's all used up. I mean, he's kind of reliable in that, like, he probably won't get chased. He'll probably soldier through and give you 5 innings or so. Oh, you found another lighter. Where's the white lighter?
What?
Where's the white lighter?
I don't know. I didn't give it back to you?
No,
Oh.
So. That's fine. I'll keep that.
No,
don't worry about it. I'll get the torch. It's fine.
Are you sure? Because there's a lighter in the car, too.
Okay.
In my door, in, like, the...
Okay, well, I'm going to go get the torch.
Okay.
All right. This is looking a lot more promising than yesterday's loaf. I got to say. This is shaping up pretty nicely. We've got a real possibility that we might achieve greatness today. Finally, for the first time forever without stopping. I know what you're saying. Eric, can you really do it? Is it really a possibility? We'll find out, friends. You and I will find out together. Now, because this loaf looks like it's going to be more properly risen. Sure. Because this loaf looks like it's going to be more properly risen, what I'm thinking is I got to be careful on the cook time. I've been going like 23 minutes on it, which gets the crust, nice and golden brown. But I'm thinking this might need a minute or two less if it's properly risen. And it does seem to be performing much better than yesterday's loaf of bread.
That's good.
So I've got high hopes. You have high hopes and big dreams. I dream of a big fluffy loaf of bread, the deliciousness quotient off the charts, such that when Rachel takes a bite, she's sent into a land of beauty and wonder.
I already have. I love your bread.
Thanks, darling. But,
I know there's the.
I want my bread to not just be good, but in its optimal state.
Okay.
There are, of course, more than one way a loaf of bread can be subpar. One thing that I don't doubt will be a problem again this time is that it's gonna probably once again like fall apart when I try to cut it. You might say, but why, Eric? Why? Well, it's the lack of smoothness all the way around. So, in an ideal formation of the bread, it's nice and smooth all the way around. But if it's not smooth, if it has cracks where you folded the dough, which the bottom does, it seems like impossible to not have that. Then those things make crust tectonic plates. And when you try to cut across the plate, instead breaks on the plate seams and your piece of bread falls apart. Last night, I managed to successfully cut one decent looking slice of bread, which I gave to Rachel, and then the rest of it was just like me picking the bread part out of a bunch of bits of crust. So obviously, your major bread companies, your Wonder Bread, your Roman Meal, they've figured out some secret technique that I don't have. Like they cut their.
So many ants. Or just
Uh,
stuff like spills over there over time.
I guess. I don't know. I've not noticed them there
Maybe.
prior to right now.
I'll bring this inside.
Okay. They call them the bread 1%. They hoard all of their secret knowledge to themselves. While we regular people struggle at home with bread that doesn't slice properly, they enjoy the fruits of their Gnostic hidden knowledge. Yeah, we make magic bread that's the perfect shape and it doesn't go stale. Rub it in my face, why don't you, big bread?
Yeah, what's up with that?
But God.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I feel like it's been like a long time since I have been in front of the camera, like in front of the camera. How is everyone doing? Ugh, I have an ant crawling on me.
That's on TI subtype ESFP. Yeah, I think they're jumpers. to their blast play. Get out of here, man. Nobody invited you. Get out of here.
If you give bread to the frogs, will it make the frogs gay?
No. Not unless you add just a pinch of global warming. All right. I have retrieved the torch, and I can go pull bowls inside now. You want to bring the camera?
Sure.
Well, third most could be worse. We could have given up the most runs in the American League. You know, playing 500 baseball, giving up third most runs, that's pretty good. I'm impressed. I am firmly of the belief. I'm not just wishful thinking this now when I say this. I am firmly of the belief that this athletics team will, in fact, make the playoffs.
I like that.
You may call me a dreamer, but that's just because you're wrong. I'm not a dreamer. I'm a correct prognosticator of baseball reality. Mark my words. No new taxes, and the Athletics are going to the playoffs this year. Might be the wild card, might be winning the division, it's hard to say. But right here, right now, I am guaranteeing, I'm personally guaranteeing, the Athletics will make the playoffs. And what could be more reliable than a personal guarantee from me about the performance of the Athletics? Okay, maybe I don't have a PhD in baseball, but you know what I do have? I have a degree from the School of Hard Knocks. And at the School of Hard Knocks, I did happen to major in baseball. Plus, my opinion here is completely unbiased. I evaluate every team the same, with the same level of attention as I do the Athletics, obviously. I spend just as much time watching Cleveland Guardians games.
What the heck was that?
That's the timer.
Oh.
Tell me that the second rise is done.
The second rise is done.
Yes. All right, let's take a gander at the goose. The second rising of bread. Wow, that is so much bigger than even the final loaf was last time. That's looking quite promising.
It is.
All right. Let's do it like Pruitt. Hopefully it'll rise a little bit more in the oven. I mean, would it be good to give it another 5 minutes? I don't really know. I like to imagine I can see it growing before my eyes, but that's just persistent psychedelic drug user syndrome, or whatever they call it, where shit moves. All right, well, it's already had longer to rise the second rise than it normally has, but it also had less time to rise the first time. I mean, I guess that seems about right to me. It could ideally go over the long ends of the pan a bit more, but I don't know. I'm a humming, a hawing, a way out of control. Part of me says, let it rise a little bit more. There's no reward without risk. If I want to get as risen a loaf of bread as I can, there's a risk of over rising it and it falls, presumably. But I don't feel as though we're manifesting that risk as reality in this moment. I think, even as I'm just talking here, killing a little time, we are all gathering benefits. The benefit of waiting. I swear, I think I can see it growing before my eyes. I can. It's like when I first took it out there, I was like, oh, I wish it was touching the sides. Now it is touching the sides. That's some impressive growth rate. I think I've been wise thus far, so give it another minute or two. I think I'll be wise to continue to give it another minute or two. I tell you what I'm going to do. You keep an eye on the bread. Let me know if something dramatic happens. I'm going to go to the bathroom. When I come back, we'll check on it again. Okay, so I can already tell you I'm going to try to repeat this process, the adjustments I made this time, next time as well. It means a shorter first rise time, less punching down than I've done in the past. Just kind of mush it back down to, not super inflated size, but don't really squish it around too much. And then, I'll give it extra time on the second rise. I'll wait till it seems like that's about right. And this is looking PDG, which of course stands for pretty darn good. But I'm ambitious. Maybe it's the gambler in me, but I'm thinking we can do better by just simply standing here and looking at it for a bit. I'm thinking we can have a more fully risen loaf of bread going into the oven, and that we very well might achieve preferable results by doing so. Why settle for better than last time if we can get it better than ever before? What is one of your favorite scents? Well, fresh baked bread is a pretty nice smell. I like a variety of food smells. If I'm hungry, food smells good. As far as other smells go, well, Rachel smells very good. She smells like womanhood and sunshine. So we're going to ride out the stream till the bread's done. For anybody here at that time, they will get to see how well it turned out or if it turned out well. I'm feeling very optimistic, but I don't want to celebrate prematurely at all. That's, it's substantially more risen than it was when I first took it out of the bag. It's really working fast, It's not screwing around. Okay, now I'm starting to worry about it falling, though. Now I am starting to worry about it falling. Okay, well, I think at this point, I don't want to gamble anymore with this loaf. I think it's time to go in the oven. That is looking very well risen. So much better than yesterday. It's like I kind of hope it'll rise a little bit more in the oven, but I don't really know if that's the case. Rise up, my child. Rise. Rise from the fertile earth. Rise and become your preeminent form. The ultimate in loaves of bread. This is going to be it. This is going to be the ultimate loaf of bread. I'm going to speak positively. I'm going to manifest its greatness with my wishful thinking and stubborn idiocy. Okay. Here we go. I need a little push in it next to it. Alright, fine. Okay, now I'll give that 22 minutes. Maybe if I remember, I'll check on it in 20. Let's hope for the best. We've got bread in the oven and loving in our tummin. Death and taxes are more reliable than what? Oh, you mean the fact that the Athletics are going to go to the playoffs? I think they're equal.
So you let the bread rise a little bit more?
Yeah, I did. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, that bread should turn out like it should.
That sounds great. Did you put the line through it?
I did not. I decided against that this time.
Oh yeah, really?
And the reason is because the top looks nice and smooth. And I thought, okay, I don't see any seams here or anything. I think this is going to puff up fine.
Okay.
So it's substantially more risen going into the oven than it was yesterday, like by a long shot. So I have got high hopes for this loaf of bread.
Nice.
And I also feel informed by this process today as to ways in which I can do a better job of it. You know, I think part of the issue might have been I was proofing the yeast for a little too long, thereby it was living at too much of its lifespan before it actually even got into the dough. I think additionally, the addition of a pinch of sugar into the yeast thing helps. Also, I think that I probably let it stir around more today for a little bit longer. Then, I let the first rise be shorter, I made the second rise be longer, and I kind of waited to eyeball to see when the bread was tall enough to go into the oven rather than just listening to the time on that it says on the recipe. So I think we're making progress. I do think we are making progress. In part, this progress is enabled simply by me seeing like the enough examples of yeast blooming to be able to tell the difference between when it's bloomed up well or when it's not bloomed all the way yet or when it's blooming poorly. So I can from a place of being more informed, I can make decisions about when to pour the yeast in that are based on something other than just trying to follow the recipe. Because obviously, different things cook differently in different places on different stoves and ovens and at different elevations. So one has to adjust to one's own specific conditions. The whole process will play out differently if the kitchen's warmer or cooler, and other little variations like that. Well, Boston is beating Buffalo 1-0 right now, with a minute and 30 some seconds left in the first period. I think I'll switch over to the basketball game since still a couple periods of hockey to go there. Live stream's got about 20 minutes left, maybe a little bit longer because I want us to get to enjoy the bread together. This one, maybe we should watch this hockey game. This hockey game is 3-3 in the third period. Yeah, that sounds a little more interesting.
I feel like in the NHL, the Canadian the Canadian teams are usually the underdog. So I always root for them because in sense like this, like where they're not playing against a team that I don't care. We're playing against a team that I don't care about.
Right.
Because it's their sport, you know, like it's Canada's sport.
Yeah.
It's not so much
Who
ours.
won last year?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let me see.
I remember that Toronto was in it for a while, but I think they eventually lost.
Yeah, they lost.
And
It might have been Florida.
was it Toronto losing to Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals?
I think it. I don't know if they got that far. Maybe. Who played the Stanley Cup last year?
The Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers played in the Stanley Cup final last year.
Oh,
The Panthers won the whole thing.
Edmonton
Are you a fan
Oilers.
of either team?
So okay, it was a Canadian team, but it was Edmonton.
Yeah, but still, you know, like I was rooting for Edmonton because.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, I think, since the Canadian team has won.
Right? I think so too.
And then
Yeah, Florida, yeah.
Canada was very disappointed that they lost to the U.S.
Did
in
they?
the Olympics this
Yeah.
year. Because, and they should have been disappointed because they were clearly the better team.
Yeah, and you know, but you know, Trump was all like, you know, he wants to take over Canada.
Fuck you, Canada. We're coming for you next.
You know, so. That's the Maple Leafs, right?
Who? No, this is the Canadians. Yeah, so this is neither Edmonton nor Toronto. This is Montreal. They also have Calgary, and I don't know if they have any other teams besides that. Winnipeg. We've got Calgary, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto. 1993 was the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, Vancouver, the Canucks. Forgot about the Canucks. That's a lot of teams Canada has.
Canada has how many?
They got Toronto, Montreal,
Toronto, Montreal.
Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, Vancouver, and did I miss one? That might be all of them. That's a lot of teams.
Yeah, it is. It's a bunch. Way more than I thought. I forgot about Calgary.
Yeah. It doesn't even sound like a real place name. Calgary. Oh, Ottawa as well. The Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Canadian
You
teams.
do have a lot of teams.
Seven Canadian teams. In contrast, there's only one baseball team, right? There used to be Montreal Expos, but not anymore. One baseball team, and there is at least one basketball team, but I think just one basketball team. I think Toronto has a basketball team. Of course, they have their own football league. So they don't have any NFL teams. How sad for them. Boy, oh boy. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Hopefully, like my bread. Because that's what the tension's all about. How will Eric's bread come out this time? Will the problems that have plagued him in the past be finally resolved? Or will he once again weep, despairing in shame and in failure? We shall find out. In just 10 minutes, we will find out. 10 small minutes from now. Well, in 10 minutes, we'll take it out. We'll actually find out all we need to know when we cut into it a couple minutes later. Then we'll know the true fate of this loaf of bread. Then and only then will we know. The Raptors have complained that it is a competitive disadvantage in free agency. Well, makes sense. You know, Toronto, they should play in Canada but pay in America. Wouldn't that be smart? I'm sure they could figure out some way to do that.
Would you like to take a walk with me later?
Sure. I mean, in the stream when we get our bread.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wait until the bread's done and I can complete the journey of bread here on stream where I started the journey on bread. And then we go for a walk. We could even, if you want to, like, maybe go get some kind of drink or treat or something.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun.
Okay. You want to? What do you feel in the mood for? We're gonna have bread. Keep in mind before anything else.
Okay.
It is Sunday evening. That's not that late. We should be fine.
Okay, so what are our options? What were you thinking?
Well, my initial thought was like maybe Denny's.
Denny's sounds good.
Denny's or what's something equivalent? I mean, I think Denny's has pie, but you know, I may end up like getting a Grand Slam breakfast or something.
Like dinner?
Yeah.
It's like that. I was thinking like maybe I'll get chicken strips and
Yeah,
fries and
because
a
bread's
shake.
not going to be enough for dinner.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, cool. So let's finish with the bread. Then we will eat some bread, wrap up the stream, and then we'll go down to, I guess, Oakhurst is probably the better way to go, as opposed to Merced. Oakhurst is not as far. It's a little more windy, but I'd say let's go to Oakhurst. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good. And seems likely that we'll catch the end of this game before we go.
That's
I
exciting.
wonder if they still have the 3-on-3 overtime in the playoffs.
I would expect so, right? I mean, why not have it all throughout the. They're going to have it during regular, and during.
Well, they're trying to save wear and tear on the players, right? So
Makes sense, and it makes it. I don't know, it's so exciting when it's
yeah,
3-on-3.
I like it too, but it's also more like random, less based on the skill of the teams.
That's true.
So they may say, we like this in the regular season to save wear and tear on everybody, but we don't like it in the playoffs because the playoff games are too important to decide like that.
I don't know. We'll see. I
We'll
guess.
find out possibly if they're still tied at the end of this period. All right, I suspect that that timer is about to ring and let us know that the bread is ready. So we'll go check in here, see what we see. 5 minutes left, huh? It's a little more than I expected. It's smelling quite done-ish.
Something burning?
No, nothing burning. I don't know if it really needs a full 5 more minutes. It looks pretty golden brown.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, let me give it 2 or 3 more minutes maybe instead. Because it's more risen, it's less dense, which probably means it cooks faster.
I don't know.
That would be my guess.
I'm sure they have Putty Cat. I don't blame them.
All right, here we go. We're back in town in Tampa Bay, where Montreal
I think they're in yeah, it looks like they're in Montreal.
Yeah.
Or no, they're in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're in Tampa Bay, but I'm saying it is
Yeah.
Montreal, where Montreal is trying to defeat the hated Floridians. By and large, I don't like any Florida teams. I don't like the Florida Panthers. I don't like the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't like the Florida Marlins. I don't like the University of Florida. I don't like Florida State. I don't like Miami. I don't dislike, but I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't like the Miami Heat. So, screw you, Florida. Let's go, Montreal. Show them the power of Quebec. The power of Quebec. All right, let's take a gander. Boy. It doesn't look like it's like burning or anything, so I think I'll try to give it these last 2 minutes. And just keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. Welcome to your life, Eric. Let's go Montreal. Don't be Montreal. Boo to Tampa Bay. Get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
With the power of cheer, I have helped the Montreal Canadiens save a goal. That would have been certainly a game-deciding goal.
True that.
But with my encouragement and Rachel's help, we've successfully gotten the Montreal Canadiens to keep the game tied. Everybody get out of my face. I'm trying to stop this hockey puck. Everybody get out of my face. That's what the goalie said to all the people. Tampa Bay with the puck takes the shot. It's missed. I thought that
Wow,
was
that was
game.
way
I
too
thought that was
close.
goal right there.
Yeah.
Was not though. Tampa Bay
Nope, wasn't.
trying to do their best to
Wow,
score a
shit.
goal before regulations out.
Come on, yeah, like come on, Canada, like show what you got.
Show us the maple syrup in your heart.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Fingers crossed. Here comes the bread. Let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Well, what do you see? Obviously, it didn't really rise anymore after I put it in the oven. It's got the same amount of risen as it was before. Which might mean maybe, just maybe, I should let it rise a little bit longer. I don't know. I'll have to do a little bit more experimentation in that regard. That needs to cool down a bit. Just a wee little bit. While it does, I will get out some butter and some jam.
Montreal has a power play.
Who does?
Montreal.
Oh, really? With how much time left?
Ooh. Yeah.
Like 20 seconds left, huh?
So they better make something of it, seriously. Like, you know, it's just frustrating when like the team has a power play and they don't do anything with it. It's like, ugh! Like, it's not easy to get a power play. I feel like, right? Like, I feel like they don't have many penalties.
Yeah, I know. NHL's great like that. It's not, the referees basically stay out of it.
Yeah, they do. Oh, there we go.
Goal?
No, but they're on. On. They were on the Tampa Bay side, which is, you know, you want that during a power play.
Yeah.
End of regulation already?
There's only 20 seconds left in the game.
Oh, I see.
Alright, we've got some butter cut. Barnaby Buttercut is a good name for a character
Yeah,
from
that looks like such a nice piece of bread. Can I take a picture of it?
Sure.
For Instagram?
Sure you could.
Doing a picture and I don't know how. Yeah. Hashtag bread. Homemade bread.
Let's see how she cuts. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Ooh, look at that cut. That's a nice, easy cut. This is promising.
At Post Art.
That's my name, don't wear it out.
Ooh.
These are excellent slices of bread.
They
Normally,
really are.
I don't have anything close to this good slices.
I want to take pictures of the slices too.
Probably should have melted this butter first, though. Wow,
Thank you for your acts of service.
you're welcome. You know what they say, when life gives you butter, make butterade. Let's get a little bit of this jam here. Not much jam left.
Sorry, I ate a lot of it last night. We'll get more next time we go.
There you go. That's free.
Butter's stubborn, right?
Yeah. This got more smoothly this time, but cut the butter up first.
Oh, that's good.
Should have done that last time, but
That's okay. It's all a learning process, is it not?
wow. This is amazing. We're getting actual slices of bread.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right. We got 4 actual slices of bread. That means definitely doing something more right than I was doing it before. Okay. Yeah, yeah, Meow, 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 meow,
Meow, meow, meow.
meow, 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 meow. Thing too. There. All right, let's taste the bread and then we'll end this training.
Mmm.
All good.
Fantastic.
Mmm. This is some true on good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thanks for being here. See you next time.
Don't forget to put in cheese.